The boy asked his mother to put her hand into the sling, but it lowered her weaving efficiency. Still, he did not feel discouraged, because the long hours of weaving had caused illness in his mother's arms. So, as a thoughtful child, he never stopped looking for ways to ease her burden. One day, the chain on a bicycle fell off. A man put the rusty chain back in place and gently pushed the pedal. As he watched the wheel spin, he had an idea. After several days of building, he created the first prototype of a loom. People around him laughed at his wild idea. Even his parents told him to focus on adult matters, like getting married and starting a family. They believed a wife could help his mother weave. Marriage brought sweet happiness, and the man forgot about the loom. But one day, his wife's arms grew weak. Only then did he realize she might get sick just like his mother. So the man returned to working on the loom. This time, he had someone by his side who supported him. After several months, the rough version of the loom was ready. He proudly called his family to witness the big moment. But suddenly, the motor exploded. He had borrowed money at a high interest rate to buy that motor. He had hoped the loom would help him repay the debt. Now the lender threatened to take their house. His father looked down on him, and even his loving mother felt disappointed. That night, the man walked to the riverbank, nearly losing the courage to go on. But the next morning, when he returned home, his wife handed him her dowry money to help pay the debt. The next day, they said goodbye to his parents and moved to the city, hoping to earn a living. But the man was too honest. He often got bullied, and even had a traffic accident. While in the hospital, he found out the patient in the next bed was studying for an electrician's license. He looked at the textbook and solved a hard question in just a few seconds. Impressed, the patient introduced him to a contractor. At last, he found a steady job. 1 year later, the couple returned home with their baby. His parents were overjoyed, but the man only cared about his loom. This made his father so angry that he burned the machine. Only his wife told him not to give up. So the man worked during the day and studied the loom at night. After a whole year, he finished building a second loom. But his wife said something was wrong. The weaving motion should be a figure-8 pattern, not a simple circle. The man broke down. He angrily took the parts apart and sold them to a scrapyard. He felt hopeless. But one day, he saw the spool in his wife's hand and suddenly had an idea. He rushed to the junkyard and bought back all the parts. He carefully rebuilt and adjusted the loom. Even the neighbors who once laughed at him came to watch. He pressed the switch with full confidence. Nothing happened. Luckily, it was just an old wire. He fixed it quickly. As the loom ran smoothly, the era of hand weaving in India finally came to an end.